Newcomers, the Dragon Ball Legends 5th anniversary will begin on May 27th, and even though the game is dry right now, you guys might be trying to figure out ways on how to prepare for the event, primarily how to get crystals so that you can summon on the brand new banner. Well, don't worry, I got you covered. So this video is for all the newcomers out there. These are some tips and tricks on how you can farm some crystals to prepare for the Dragon Ball Legends 5th anniversary. The first tip is pretty simplistic, but it's to do the story mode. Now, granted, the story mode has been going on for almost 5 years, and we have up to 14 parts of the story so far, with the first 4 parts having a hard mode. So even though it's a long process, you will be able to get a good amount of crystals as a newcomer through doing the story and even the hard mode for parts 1 through 4 as well. Not only that, as you do the story, you also knock out missions which will add more crystals that you're able to save for the anniversary. And of course, if you knock out the challenges, that's even more crystals that you're able to earn. So even though it's simplistic, the story mode is actually a good source for newcomers to get crystals for the anniversary. The next tip I have for newcomers is to do events. I cannot stress this enough. Events are a fantastic way to farm crystals in a general retrospect. For example, right now we currently have the battle gauntlet against boot tanks in the game. And if you're able to clear the entire battle gauntlet, you'll be able to get 700 crystals. But even if you can't clear the entire thing, you're still able to get some crystals from the event, so it's still worth doing. Other resources within the events are to do the original series, like for example, the Nappa battle, the Vegeta battle, Frieza, Ginyu, etc. Those have missions that if you do certain requirements within the events themselves, can get you, I think it's around like 200 each for like a total of 1,000 crystals. So you can farm those events to get a good amount of crystals in the game. And then also there is the special section. Now, this is slightly different than the other events from what I'm about to recommend. There are 2 events in particular. You have Majin Buu's Revival, and you also have Project Zero Mortals. Now, if you do those events, you can definitely get crystals off of those, but the flip side to all that is you have to have specific units to do those events. So if you do have those units, and you have them leveled up to, I believe it's around 4 stars, if you have them, and you have them around 4 stars, you can do those events and you can get some crystals. If you don't, then that might not be an avenue, but it's still something for at least those who do have those units. But still, regardless of all that though, events are a great way to get crystals so that you can prepare for the 5th anniversary. The next tip I have for newcomers is to soul boost your units and also to upgrade your equipment. Now, this particular tip relies on 4 particular resources. You will need Zenny, you'll need souls, you'll need energy, and you'll need slot removers. But if you do have those to the point where you're able to expend just a few, hopefully you don't go overboard with it, but you're able to at least expend some, then you can utilize that to get some crystals, because when you soul boost a ton of units, you unlock missions for those, and those missions will give you crystals. Not only that, when you upgrade your equipment to, I believe it's around A or higher, you get crystals off of that as well. So you can try to use that to at least get some more crystals to prepare for the 5th anniversary. This next tip is probably the slow burn out of all the tips, but it still is a way for you guys to get crystals for the 5th anniversary. And that is to do the Tournament of Power. Now again, it's a slow burn, and the reason is because you have to get 25 TP in order to try to get all the way to the end of the Tournament of Power. And that takes a lot of time for it to build up. Luckily, TP does stack, but once it reaches 25, it won't increase anymore until you start using it. So if you're able to get all the way through the Tournament of Power, then once that Tournament of Power season ends, you will get crystals off of that, depending on how high you place or whichever rank that you're in. But still, it's a way for you guys to get crystals. And I would say the best part about it is it's just a passive game mode. You don't have to worry about actually interacting, like actually utilizing units like that or anything of the sort. Just so long as you have a team and you run through it, you should be fine. So again, Tournament Power, it's a slow burn, but you still can get crystals to prepare for the 5th anniversary. Another tip for newcomers is to check your exchange shop, because for example, if you've been doing PvP, you might have been getting things knocked out for the Golden Showdown, and if you've been accepting those rewards in the missions tab, you might have enough of the resources to get free crystals. Not only that, if you've been doing the Legends Battle Royale and you've been getting through that fairly well, you should be able to get crystals with that as well. Or even if you've done co-op, if you do co-op, you're able to farm those medals up to a certain point to where you're able to get crystals as well. But of course, you can only redeem all of that in the exchange shop. So go in there and check and see if you have enough of each individual resource, because again, if you do, you can probably get some free crystals to prepare for the 5th anniversary. And the final tip I have for newcomers is actually a pretty big one, but it is to knock out your mission plan. I cannot stress this enough. This is a very effective and consistent way to get crystals in the game, because mission plans will always happen no matter what. So I would say knock out as many as you possibly can as fast as you can. And the good thing about mission plans is that it literally fits anybody's playstyle. So they have an easy, a medium, and a hard version of the plans. Now, if you're more so not trying to look at PvP, you just want to focus on PvE, or you're like super casual, you should probably do the easy plan. If you're kind of like in between like casual, but like you really want to hop into PvP and like see what that's like and all that good stuff, you should do the medium plan. And quite literally, if you just want to throw hands, then you should do the hard plan. But again, both of these methods are ways for you guys to farm crystals. Obviously, the more difficult the plan, the more crystals you're able to farm. But again, one good thing about these plans is you're more than likely able to get a ton of them knocked out within a day. That's the thing. Granted, I think there's a few actual missions within those plans that actually are kind of time gated. Like, for example, logging in for a certain amount of days. Obviously, you have to wait in order to get those unlocked. But apart from all that though, speaking from like the Battle Lovers plan perspective, because that's what I've always picked, if you do PvP, if you upgrade your equipment, if you do co-op, you know, things of that nature, you can get a lot of those knocked out within a day and get a ton of crystals just like ready to go for the anniversary. Again, that's just from the Battle Lovers plan perspective. I can't really speak for like the medium or the easy one, but I do know that again, you're able to utilize those to get crystals. And if you're able to get a lot of the Battle Lovers plan knocked out in a day, then I'm pretty sure the medium and the easy ones should be easier to handle than the Battle Lovers plan. But still, your mission plans, knock those out as fast as you can. Those are great ways to get crystals for the 5th anniversary. Those are all the tips and tricks I have for newcomers to farm crystals for the 5th anniversary. But I'm pretty sure that there might have been some tips or even some tricks that I might have missed. So any veterans out there, if you guys know anything that I might have missed in this video, please help out the newcomers by letting them know in the comment section below, because at the end of the day, I want all of us to be ready for the 5th anniversary. Again, this is a time to be hyped, so I want everybody to summon on that banner. But with that being said, I'm Ndukauba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.